everybody. Welcome inside the CrossFit Update Studios. Sean Woodland with Rory McKernan and Pat Sherwood, turning our attention to the Pacific Regional and the two regions that will feed into that at the end of the Open. Basically stays the same. Some of the names have changed. We now have Asia and Australasia. So Australasia is Australia, as everyone knows, and the outlying islands. So that is now Australasia. I mean, it's basic stuff that I shouldn't have to repeat, but I will for the sake of everybody.
Charles DeBras coined the term.
Asia will send 10 to that regional, and Australasia will send 30, and then again 5 men, women, and teams will head to the CrossFit Games. And when you look at Australasia, or just the country of Australia in particular, what a year they had in 2017. What can we expect from them this year here in 2018?
Everything. More of the same, right? Australians, they bring it. Every time when the Open or Regionals would roll around for the women's competition, I would kind of cast my eyes over towards the Meridian, what's going on over there in Europe. But I'll tell you what, with what Tia and Webb are doing out there, 1 and 2 at regionals, then they flip-flop at the games. Tia wins the whole thing by just like 2 points, super passionate, super fired up. They've got my attention this year to see what happens. And then I also think there's some good young up-and-comers out there. Madeline Sturt, only 21 years young, been to the games the last 2 years in a row. She's been 39th, then 35th, okay, still in the 30s, but jumping up by 5 spots. At 21 years old, she continues to do that. She could be the next big name out of that region.
And that's, I mean, you got to say something for participation and how fired those guys are, how fired up those guys are, and all the intangibles. Like, in any sport, there's intangibles. Having the Invitational down there, watching their team dominate the rest of the world in that. And I spoke to CrossFit Touring the other day. It's just one CrossFit gym in the world, happens to have 209 last year in competitors. Wow. And none of these guys really, maybe with the exception of one, are regional competitors. These are just fired up CrossFitters who love the sport, and the growth down there and the excitement is basically carrying those top athletes to another amazing year.
We've talked a lot about international growth, and we've seen the growth in Europe. We've seen the growth in Brazil. We're going there for an Open announcement. Latin America now has their own regional again. Asia, we've seen a lot of growth there. We just haven't seen that translated into success at regionals or the games. Could this possibly be the year that we see that change?
No. I knew this was coming. I wanted a compelling argument to just paint a warm, fuzzy cloud and say yes, but looking back, I just don't see any historical evidence or data that makes me think 2018 is a breakout year for them. I think it's coming. Yeah. Just like California used to dominate the U.S., that's not the case anymore. Every place else catches up. They're still catching up. They're still building momentum. I just don't think they're there yet.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback on that and say no, but. Right, the same exact thing. You see the rate of growth there, you see the excitement there, and people are really just sinking their teeth into it. So once these athletes start getting their heads wrapped around it, they've got a couple of years and some skin in the game. You won't just see expats at military bases being the most competitive. You're going to see some people from the Asian countries really bringing the heat. And we saw it even, remember, we've been to Meridian a couple years now, and what will now be the other Europe region, there's now people from France, Italy, where the first year it was basically Iceland and the Nordic countries, and now you're seeing a diversity of the countries getting involved. Germany's getting their hands on it. So once these athletes have a little bit more skin in the game, I think this will be a motivating factor to make them step it up, but I think the future is coming for them, but it's not this year.
Last time any athlete from Asia made it to the games, it was 2014 when they had their own regional, and you mentioned expats, and it was Eric Carmody, who played college football at Jacksonville University. So that is going to do it for the Pacific Regional. Of course, sign up for the Open, and you might be one of the names that we're talking about when it comes to regional time. You can do that at games.crossfit.com. Throw your hat into the ring for the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games season. For Pat and Roe, I'm Sean. We'll see you guys next time.